The WBC has officially ordered Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin to fight for the vacant lightweight title previously held by the currently, announced champion in recess, Devin the Dream Haney. Devin's obviously going up to 140, but wanted to retain his titles at 35, so therefore he's now the champion in recess, meaning that he can come down to fight for his titles, but there's going to be a new champ. Those titles are vacant now for 135 for the WBC. They ordered the fight. Obviously, we know that doesn't necessarily mean the fight's going to happen, but it's a good step in the right direction to see Shakur Stevenson. If he fights Frank Martin, that's a fight where people need to start giving Shakur Stevenson some credit, because Frank Martin's no joke. They were setting Frank Martin up to fight Keyshawn Davis. That was where a lot of the beef, a lot of the smoke was coming from, essentially. But now to hear that the WBC has ordered Shakur to fight Frank Martin now, that's a very credible opponent. Probably the most interesting fight for me, in my opinion, for Shakur Stevenson, just because it's similar. It's kind of like Bud versus Terrence all over again. In terms of camps, I'm not saying styles. They're completely different fighters. But Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin, you have a guy who's defensively sound, and you also have a guy who's also defensively sound in Frank Martin, being trained by Derek James. He's in Earl Spence's training camp. And then you have Shakur Stevenson, Bo Mack, and then you have Bud, obviously. So that's a very interesting fight. I'd like to see how that plays out. It's kind of like, in a way, Frank Martin could get revenge for Earl Spence if he beats Shakur Stevenson, which is an incredibly tough task. The odds are not in his favor, but Shakur Stevenson is going to push him to the limit, and if Frank Martin can weather that storm, who knows what could happen. It's the sport of boxing. But, I'd probably go with Shakur in that fight. I'm pretty sure he's going to be a relatively heavy favorite. I'd be surprised if the odds are real close, but, Shakur should definitely be the favorite in that fight, and rightfully so, because I think that Shakur is just, we're all very high on Shakur Stevenson, but we know how technical he is in the ring, all the skills he possesses in terms of, the jab, keeping the jab busy, and, from that southpaw stance, keeping the jab busy. He kind of probes it around. He's gotten warmed for a few times in his fights, but he's so pinpoint accurate. He conserves a lot of energy, doesn't get hit. He knows his range so well, figures his opponents out, figures out their game plans before they even know what their game plan is. That's the thing. So he's ready for anything, and I think that once he beats Frank Martin, which I expect him to do, there's not going to be much people can say. Shakur Stevenson even said it himself. He's like, remember what you guys have been saying about me after I, beat Frank Martin, assuming he does beat him. But I think he does. I think that Shakur's the better fighter. I think that he's more fundamentally sound. He has the brighter future, in my opinion. Both guys have a bright future, but I just think Shakur is on another level, and I think that the only fighter that can really challenge Shakur Stevenson right now is really Gervonta Tank Davis. There's nobody else that I can really see where I say Shakur's good, but if he gets touched by that left hand, I don't know what's gonna happen, because Tank hits so hard. That's just the element of not only his power, but the way he can set traps. It doesn't take much for Tank to end a fight. He just needs one shot to get you in danger, and that's the thing. Can Shakur Stevenson be so perfect and so crisp that he's too sharp for Tank, and then Tank's hunting him down, but he can't hunt for that food the same way he's been able to do to guys like Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero. Set those traps, because when you're fighting Shakur Stevenson and you're Gervonta Tank Davis, you're dealing with a different animal now, because all those guys before you, they eventually start falling for your feints. They feel your power. They start falling for your feints. They get reckless because they don't want to take any more chances. They just want to go at you because they're nervous. Shakur's going to stay calm. He's going to stay composed, and that's what I think makes the fight between Shakur Stevenson and Tank so interesting. What's going to happen? Who's going to stick to the game plan? Who's not going to fall off track? Who's not going to get sidetracked and start getting nervous? Who's going to rise to the occasion and be able to handle that pressure? Pressure bursts pipes or makes diamonds, and we're going to find out who's really that guy, who really has that ability to stay composed during the storm, because that's the one who's going to survive in that fight between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis. So it's either going to be Gervonta by KO or it's going to be Shakur by unanimous decision. That's the only ways, the two only ways that I could see this fight playing out. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. But Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson ordered by the WBC. I'd love to see it. If it happens, I'd be really excited. That'd be a great one. I'd go with Shakur Stevenson by decision, but who knows? Maybe he stops Frank Martin, but Frank Martin's tough, so I'd probably go with Shakur by decision. Unanimous, unanimous, because, you know, Michelle Rivera is not Shakur Stevenson, so Frank Martin better be ready. I know he will be, but Shakur's just different. I'm going with Shakur in that one. No disrespect, that's my pick. Shakur Stevenson by unanimous decision over Frank Martin. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that. But I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys for the constant support. Peace.
That's going to do it for another NASFIGHT Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.